What's up, everybody? John the Morgal here, checking in for episode 2 of Debating GlobeTards. And in this episode, we're going to discuss, well, we'll say gravity in the atmosphere, or the theory of gravity and how it pertains to the atmosphere, because, you know, from the normie globe-tarded worldview, you must believe that the Earth is a spinning ball in the vacuum of outer space. And of course, the vacuum of outer space is, well, pretty much non-defined, but it's also non-definable. It's essentially infinite, right, according to our terms. Like, you can't even understand or fathom what a light year is, let alone what millions of light years are. So it's all this theoretical, essentially infinite vacuum. And the problem is that here on the ground in reality, we have pressurized atmosphere. In fact, the air pressure at sea level is about 14.7 pounds per square inch. And the higher up in elevation you get, there is a gradient, so the pressure decreases proportionally with your altitude above sea level. However, when you get to a certain point, there's what's called the Karman Line, and it's sort of a theoretical point in space where the atmosphere ends and space begins. And essentially what the globe earther's position is that you have this gradient that goes all the way up to basically nothing, and then at some point you have a vacuum. And what differentiates between the infinite vacuum of space and our atmosphere is essentially the theory of gravity, because we know that the theory of gravity solves everything according to the globe, right? That's their answer to everything. But of course, when you mention to the GlobeTard that you cannot have a pressurized environment exist within a vacuum unless there is a solid structure separating the two areas, right? So nowhere in nature can you demonstrate a low pressure system or a vacuum housing some pressurized system within it, right? So let's say you have a balloon filled with air and put it inside a vacuum chamber. If you pop that balloon, then the gases inside that balloon will immediately expand to fill the chamber evenly. That's how gases work. And that's how the atmosphere should technically work if the infinite space is supposedly this near perfect vacuum. And debating with people who believe that the Earth is a spinning ball in outer space is practically impossible, because you're debating with someone who believes necessarily that the impossible is a necessary truth. And again, the impossible thing would be a pressurized system existing within a vacuum without some structure separating the two. Now, this isn't to say that there is necessarily some solid dome separating the infinite vacuum of space from our atmosphere. This is to say that there is no infinite vacuum of space. And, if you want to believe in some solid dome, that's fine. Perhaps there is, perhaps there isn't. But what we can say for sure is that the heliocentric sort of ball Earth theory fails to account for observable, testable reality. And you must believe in a complete impossibility yet again, which these things are all over the place with the ball Earth theory. But you must believe such physically impossible things as this in order to continue believing in the ball. And again, trying to debate someone who is of that mindset is practically impossible, because it's like debating, a 5-year-old about Santa Claus, right? I mean, as long as you believe in Santa Claus, then there is no debate. As long as you believe in such ridiculous things, then your mind is not capable of rational thought, and therefore any sort of debate is just going to be the programmed responses that we were all subjected to, which is to basically attack and ridicule the person who is trying to say something other than what was deemed doctrine in the textbooks of scientism, right? So there's that. This was a short one, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.